Inside we have just the obsbot tiny here right on top. Here is what it looks like. There is a protective film on the lens that we can peel off. Other things in the box include a dock that uses magnets to stick onto the base of the camera. So on a laptop here, there's a sticky part that you remove and you can also peel off and then pop off again and just stays onto the top. We have just a USB Type-C for connecting it to your computer. This will also work for power. Alternatively, for some reason, they also give you a power adapter which uses a proprietary plug. But again, just using the computer USB plug is enough to drive and power the camera already. However, the obsbot, I believe, does not come with a built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth chip. So if you are disconnected by USB, you aren't able to connect it wirelessly to your smartphone or anything else. We have a soft rubber feel on the bottom here that prevents the camera from sliding around from the surface. We also have that standard tripod mount if you want to put it onto a tripod instead. And on the base here is where we have the Type-C port and that proprietary power port. There is a stripe on the front here which is actually LED and will light up when the camera is turned on. For example, if this light here turns green, that means it's detected successfully and it's currently tracking you without any problems. But if it turns yellow or red, for example, that means it's lost you and you have to try to reset and put yourself back into the frame. In terms of setup, it is pretty simple, but you have to go to the website in order to download the drivers for the camera. Once you are connected by the USB to your computer, again the light here will turn green. It will say the obsbot has been detected. What you are able to do here basically controls some of the smart tracking features of the camera that will then be activated regardless of what video chatting or conference app you use afterwards. So from here you can do things like turn on the AI tracking. It will start to then try and find you in your face. So if it's found you successfully and as you move around, you can see it starts to track and move and always try to point at my direction. I can move a little bit lower and you can see the camera there still tries to follow my face. Finally, there's also pan and tilt which can start playing around just to see if the camera is working if you aren't in the auto mode. We can turn off the auto tracking and from here I can just tap on the pan and tilt and it will just move by itself as you can see there. And that motion there is pretty smooth without having any issues. I can also again pan it up and down. In terms of the camera lens also is working quite well. You accidentally knock the table or something, or if you are trying to keep the position locked at one angle, it will still keep on pointing in that direction, even as you are moving the body of the camera as you can see there. So that gimbal is very similar to smartphone gimbal that we've seen before. It keeps the footage looking as smooth as possible. We can also bring in things like firmware updates for the camera that are available to push over. And you are also able to look at things like turning on or off the gesture controls. So again, for zooming as well as stopping the auto detection pan and tilt. Once those things are set up, you can then start other applications like Skype or anything that uses camera. Now, this camera with the tracking capabilities turn on automatically and controlled using the driver over here. Now, the process of recognizing the camera after you open up a software like Skype, for instance, requires a little bit of fiddling around because by default, your laptop will still be using built-in webcam as its primary camera. So in order to disable this camera and select this one as the primary camera you want to use, open up the control panel of your computer and then search for connected webcams. You can see we have a built-in webcam on this laptop. What you want to do here is actually disable this webcam and activate the obsbot camera. Make this as your default webcam. Here is an example of what the quality of the webcam is like, and as a whole, it's quite good in terms of details, sharpness, and color accuracy are all decent. Brightness levels are also adjusted to be pretty well. Everything is fairly well lit. No real complaints there. It definitely will be a step up compared to the quality of most built-in webcams on laptops. Field of view is also relatively wide. It kind of feels like an action camera, sort as you can see there, because it can get a bit of content within one frame that you are pointing the camera lens at. With that being said again, even in slightly darker environment, as we turn off this background light, the image quality is still actually pretty decent. In fact, this is where it will be a big improvement compared to the webcams baked into most laptops, which are a lot cheaper. Small sensors. Because the sensor size here is going to be larger, I'm going to stand up here. You can see it's actually kind of moving around to find my face pretty well. Sometimes you will find that you have to do it once or twice for it to register correctly, depending on if you are putting your hands out close enough to the camera or far and far away. So as you can see there, that flashing blue light means that it's indicated it's found in the gesture that you've made. After recording footage for more than 30 minutes or an hour, it does get slightly warm at the base. Never gets too hot or overheat, but because the moves motion that it's doing, if it's trying to always track you and moving really quickly, you have to use the motors more, and that will definitely generate a bit more heat. So that's more or less it. Thanks for watching.
This device can be perfectly used at news reporting, churches, pastors' live ministrations, Zoom meetings, weddings, education and training, concerts, vlogging, sports events, product launch, and so on. It is compatible with the following applications: YouTube streaming, Facebook Live, Streamlabs, Twitch, LiveMe, XSplit, Zoom, Open Broadcaster software, Skype, and so on. For inquiries, please contact Esteem Media Pro, a division of Esteem Designs and Investments Limited, on +234 807 2028 011 706 3393 630 807 202 9540.